Good afternoon. My name is Rob Finlay. I am the founder and CEO of 30 Capital. 30 Capital subsidiaries consist of primarily capital markets, technology, and other innovation companies involved in commercial real estate. And through our private investment vehicle, Volana Capital, we also invest in cryptocurrency, blockchain, and other type of NFT investments. The metaverse simply is a concept, right? And this is the concept of our actual life, our real life, where it becomes virtual. And that's really is it in a nutshell. Yeah, I think commercial real estate should probably be shaking in their boots right now, thinking about metaverse. And I know right now, the way that I look at metaverse and a lot of these things, and to think about why I said a statement like that, so I think you have to look back to really Web 1.0, which was really the dot-com era where things were starting to get online. And then you look at how impactful that was and what happened to commercial real estate during the 1.0 stage. Then you look at the 2.0 stage where it's mobile phones and people are living and absorbing so much information and so few companies actually controlled the vast supply of the internet, Google, Facebook, and so on and so forth. Now all of a sudden you have this new term of which the metaverse is sort of incorporated in, and that is Web 3.0. And that is where the consumer, the user is getting a much more immersive experience in their environment. So it's basically everything that people dreamed of in 1.0 and 2.0 is now happening in 3.0. I think while there's a lot of people who are naysayers and sort of, we don't really need to worry about it, is because of the stage in which the metaverse exists. As every industry looks at it, you start with a group that is early on. So you have some real advocates, some strong advocates, people who are creative in creating things like Decentraland or the Sandbox or other things, even NFTs and cryptocurrency. Then you follow into people, the amount of investment that is going into this space. And so now you get a lot of investment, but yet there's no real monetization or real sort of utilization of this space. And that's coming on. And so if I was thinking about the death of large scale retail, such as enclosed malls and some other centers, I would be really nervous about the implications of this metaverse because the consumer wants to have a digital experience and they're comfortable with this digital world. And no longer will they have to get in a car, drive to a mall for the same type of experience. I think it's really important for people to understand the consumer and understand this is not just a tech trend. This did not just happen overnight. What we're experiencing right now is an evolution of the consumer from, look at almost any kid, they play Fortnite, they're used to gamification. They want to have a digital worth. They want to own things digitally as well as sort of actually own it physically. And I think if we start looking at the trends, you can't just look and say, oh, wow, now Web 3.0 or Metaverse is all focused around this new software. It doesn't work like that. This is truly an evolution of the behaviors of your consumer who wants gamification. They want to do things virtually. They want to have a digital currency. This is what's happening right now in this space. So an NFT is a non-fungible token. So this is just a digital asset. So think of this as a picture that you own or something that you own that is in a digital form, not necessarily a physical form. Where I see the change, and where from a real estate perspective, I look at this as NFTs will have their place, and NFTs evolve very much from things like sneaker drops and stuff like that. That's happened. So, but the thing that people need to look at is the consumer right now, the audience of people who are using the metaverse or who are interested in it, and this whole new demographic. So basically, everybody under the age of 30, they're used to getting on their computer and traveling and having an experience. And now, from a real estate perspective, there is no such thing as a barrier of money or time or space. It is now can be created. So as a consumer, I can turn around and say, you know what? I want to go look at Rodeo Drive. I no longer have to go fly to Beverly Hills, get in a car and go look at it and shop. I can have the same experience virtually. I can buy, I can shop. And so now you start to think of this whole environment from real estate. It's not just building it in the best location. Location will still matter virtually, but it's not going to matter as it does right now. And so that's where, from a real estate perspective, the biggest change and the biggest influence that people are going to have is the way that people come in and shop, the way that people socialize. And from a retailer standpoint, there's no way that you can compete with things done virtually. And I know it's not, I don't want to beat up on retail. I know it's been, it's had enough troubles. But if you think about the way that people are looking at this, and the potential of this metaverse is, you can have a real experience virtually. And because your consumers are used to doing this, this isn't like me. I don't think I'm probably the right demographic, though I do have an Oculus, and I do virtual reality and augmented reality. I think it's really fascinating. But your audience is used to coming in there. You can have concerts. You can have special sneaker drops. You can have special things. And so it's all about this gamification of the event and going through and doing something. Well, I think from an investor, I think as anything, I've been in real estate my entire life, and I've been very fortunate to have a lot of interests outside of just pure real estate, whether or not it's technology or capital markets, and I've been very fortunate to understand that the implications are also opportunities. And I think for a lot of real estate firms, understanding, don't be quick to misjudge or misunderstand what the opportunity is here based upon some news and speculation, right? Everybody hears of they're selling a little dot of virtual land for $1 million or $1 billion, whatever it is. Don't pay attention to that noise, but understand that the long-term implications for real estate is, and we already start to see it. It's very interesting that from an apartment community standpoint, virtual apartments, right? You don't want to have, you can do a virtual apartment showing. That's normal. That's part of it. Well, that's part of metaverse, right? That's part of what people are talking about, is that you can, at the comfort of your own home, you can go through and go visit someplace and go tour someplace. So the implications for real estate is, you really need to understand the whole evolution of this consumer and what's going on, because it is happening, and because of COVID, it is happening at a much greater place. Think about this, right? This is commonplace. Zoom meetings, Teams meetings. I meet virtually. I don't go in person. I don't travel as much as I used to. That is a normal way of business. People aren't coming back to the office as much. And so the implications for real estate owners is truly understanding that the whole world is changing based upon the consumer's preference to interact virtually. Yes, if you want to learn more about metaverse and cryptocurrency, blockchain, DeFi, all these other things, feel free to reach out to us. We're at 30capital.com, and also through volanacapital.com. That's our, as I mentioned, that's our investment vehicle for this kind of investments.